Welcome again to Built by AI with Izabella Ritz from Ritz Momentum. She's the CEO at Ritz Momentum. And welcome Vanessa Hung, the co-founder of SellerAssist by Carbon 6. Really excited to have you both here and really want to go ahead and talk about a little bit of Accelerate. Again, we were together last week in Seattle and we heard so much about AI over there. Here's a couple of headlines that we saw about Amazon expanding AI capabilities, Amazon wrapping themselves in generative AI, new tools that are integrated with AI. So it's just such an exciting time to be talking about how AI can really help you in different fashions in the industry. We know that it can increase personalization, and generative AI is really changing the landscape of e-commerce. So a few of the things that we want to talk about today is how AI can really help you launch a product, and then we're going to go into how AI can help you rank those products once you've launched. A really interesting quote that we've heard from an Amazon executive was, you'll see this kind of thing continue to grow, not only with us, but I think more broadly. Personalization is going to evolve very quickly in the marketplace because of AI, and generative AI will be a big part of that. So it's even something that the executives at Amazon are talking about. So it's definitely something that we all should be talking about. And thank you for joining us to talk about it. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Izabella so that we can talk a little bit about how AI and the implementation of it can help you with product research and utilizing it for validation. So go ahead, Isabella.
Awesome. So I have just 20 minutes or I have 20 minutes. So it depends from which angle you guys are looking at the situation. I will try my best to deliver as much as possible information. And I highly encourage you to watch the replay because in the replay, you'll be able to catch up with the details. We are being forced by Amazon to utilize AI. So if it's at some point, like 6, 7 months ago, you've been thinking, oh, AI is out there, whatever, I don't want to learn about it. It's too complicated. What's my purpose? And do I have any type of motivation to actually learn about AI? Yes, you do, because Amazon integrated two primary algorithms, which is Cosmo and Rufus. And we can talk a lot about them. Vanessa will touch base with Cosmo and Rufus. Uh, Rufus is the front end of Amazon, and I want you as Amazon seller to treat Rufus as your salesperson. Because for the shopper, Amazon is helping this person to shop on a proper way. Rufus is helping person to make a purchase. So if you as a seller did not take care of your listing good enough, you will not be able to sell your product. One of the examples, recently we've been looking through different type of the listings. One of the listing was a baby product. And Rufus primed to ask the question about the product. Does this product has any type of the certificates? And of course, we clicked on this question. And Rufus said, it doesn't seem to me that this product has any type of the certification. What would shopper do if they're shopping for the baby product? They will leave the listing. On the side of the seller, I can tell that Amazon will not allow you to list the product in a baby category if you don't have this type of the certification. But for Rufus, you have to list it on your listing to make sure you're actually providing this type of the information. And there is a lot of things out there how you can make your listing and make your product better to be able to communicate to your clients. That's not what we're going to talk today about, but this is something I want to get your attention to. So when you will be building listings and you'll be building the products, you have to focus on Rufus a lot, because Rufus will sell your product or will kill your sale on spot. When it comes to Cosmo will, generally speaking, target your product to your audience. And if two different people are shopping for the same type of the products, but one, if for example, single person love to camp and another person is having 15 children and always busy, the water bottle that they're shopping for together at the same time will be presented differently to different people. So one person will be presented with the option to buy the water bottle that fits his interest to camp, and another person will get the targeted products that will fit his or her interest because they need like extra holder for this cup and something else because they have children and they need extra features. So the point is we have to be able to utilize AI for these purposes as well. But let's start from the beginning. When we are doing product research initially, we have to focus on validation with the numbers. So we have to validate every single product we're finding and to be confident if this idea is actually good enough or it's a horrible idea to sell. We have to go through several steps. Back in the days when we've been searching for the products, we had different approaches to find one. One of them was Helium 10, Black Box. Another one is Smart Scout, the one that I will be showing you today, guys. Some people were searching and keep searching products ideas on social media, which is also great. And we have different angles to take. However, if you want to do it a little bit faster, this is what you can do. Number one, we already pre-built for you the ChatGPT, custom ChatGPT that you can use. It's public. We will share with you this option today. I already prepared for you not to waste time and to walk you through live. So this bot, when you're joining the bot, you can click start. It will be asking your name. It will be asking you if you're a part of our newsletter. And then it will be asking about your interests. It will be asking you how much money and what are your financial goals for 2025. And based on your answers and based on the categories you want to sell the product, this data set will pull products for you that you will be able to validate or unvalidate. And this is how you'll be able to see the product. So for example, double pet stroller or toddler step stool for kids or LED aquarium light, which I would not pay attention to, like, because I don't really like to get into the electronics. But two of the products I probably would want to validate. And it also gives me the idea how many units been sold at what price and what the estimate revenue. And I can also click at the on a link and I can see look at this product on Amazon. Another part, if you don't want, for example, use our bot and you want to analyze the products yourself, this is what you can do. I already pulled Smart Scout, and also if you guys want, we can give you the free trial that we negotiate on your behalf for 7 days with Smart Scout, so you can really exercise it tonight. You're going to the top products, and you are going through several filters that will help you out. You're put here because you're shopping for private label products. You put Amazon in stock rate 0. I recommend you to put number of sellers maximum 2, because if when you put 2, like low amount of sellers, you're targeting private label sellers, not the resellers. You can play with the estimated units sold. Usually it's I recommend to put minimum as like 100. By box price, if you don't want to sell any cheap products, please put here at least $39 and up. You can play with the estimate revenue. You can play it with the launch date. We do recommend to put total ratings count at least 250, and you can play with other filters if you want to, but for the beginning, it's really enough. Then your downloading is CSV. And as you can tell, we have here 38,000 products in the data set. After you did that, you are going to ChatGPT, you're creating the new chat, which I created for you prior. I downloaded this data set and I said, please read the file and don't do anything. That's your step number 1. Then step number 2, you can ask, can you find a product that makes 30,000 per month under 100 reviews? So now the ChatGPT is searching for this product and he found for me, like, I don't know, over 100 products. So I don't want to go through all this list because it's really a lot. And with AI, we can simplify the process. So now I'm asking, can you show me 5 products at the time, not in the chart, with the minimum price of $39? So now ChatGPT listed for me all these products that he found for me based on the data set, what the estimated monthly revenue. He is also referring me to the ASIN he found, but I want to make it better. So now I'm asking, can you make the ASINs with active links? Should be amazon.com/dp/ASIN, because we're Amazon sellers, we use it on a daily basis. So that's why I know how this link's supposed to look like. And this is where like you can replicate much the same, just doing copy paste. And now I have different products that Amazon, that ChatGPT offered me to take a look, and now I can start the validation process. So again, you can literally click, oops, this listing probably does not exist. That's not the best. Let me see what is here. Cursor. Yeah, that exists. So this data is also pulling for you from the data set. So for example, if Smart Scout found for you different type of the products, they have products that does not exist on Amazon marketplace anymore. But if these products have any type of the sales in the past, they will pull these products for you. So to avoid products that are not on the marketplace anymore, you can put the launch date somewhere recently, right? So you can mitigate listings that are not valid anymore, but at the same time, we know that some sellers are not playing a fair game and their listing can be just simply banned. I don't know, yesterday in the data set did not renew this information there. So anyway, now you have a product that you want to validate, right? So you have, for example, excitement. Oh my God, I want to sell a product at $350 and I want to make $150,000 a month. And the amount of reviews is just 69. And as an expert in product development, I can tell you, you can build so many different opportunities with this product and actually make money, because parents are buying this based on the safety, based on the design, based on the how many games they can have at the time, how easy it's installed, how easy it's break it down. So now, next part that we're gonna do, we want to validate or invalidate this product using Amazon Product Opportunity Explorer. We have plenty of tools that we can go with through the validation, but step number one that you guys have to do, because everyone has access to Amazon Product Opportunity Explorer, and we recently ran a poll asking if Amazon sellers utilize an Amazon Product Opportunity Explorer and if they're actually reading the data properly. And here are the numbers that you do have to pay attention to. So I just pulled the random product like dog pool. You're paying attention to the aggregate of the search volume. When you're pulling this aggregate, you have to take a look at those search terms that are aggregate of this 2.5 million in this case are actually make sense, and they're relevant to the product you're validating at the moment. So I'm not going to read through every single one of them, but if you can find here opportunities for this product, for example, collapsible dog pool. So maybe that one will make more sense to sell on Amazon than treat it as an opportunity. But if some products don't, if some keywords are semi-relevant or their relevancy is like 50%, don't treat them as the aggregate of this number. So trust but validate even with Amazon here. Next part, I want you to go into the Amazon Insights, and this is like really step by step where you're verifying if you want to go with this product or if you don't. If you're going to Amazon Insights and you're trying to see if you have a lot of sharks on the market that you have to work with, which means your competitors, and how many of them are coming on the market. So as of 360 days ago, we had 19 sellers and 14 of them been successful. As of today, new sellers, new ASINs, right? As of today, we have just 7 and 4 of them been successful. So we have the trend is being declined by how many sellers we have on Amazon as of 360 days ago and as of today, which means we have to take a look if something was happening with the niche, if there is less demand for the past 360, or maybe we just lucky and there is not enough of sellers coming into this market just because it's an expensive product and it's hard to build. So this is where you guys are going into the trends, and you are looking at the search volume, which is the teal color one and line, and you're looking at the amount of products at the time listed on Amazon. And this we can see like with the orange line. And this is where you can have some type of the conclusion for yourself if this product makes sense to you or it's not based on these numbers, right? So I'm not going to dig deeper because we have very limited time, but at the same time, I want you to remember that you have this tab that you have to verify after you looked into the insights inside of the Amazon Product Opportunity Explorer, and this is where you're making decision. Another number I want you to pay attention to is number of products. So here you have top click products, which is 40. Amazon made this link active, but not active to the point where you can see the products. Anyway, so you have 40 clicked products. It doesn't mean Amazon has just 40 products in total listed on Amazon for this specific product. It means it's top clicked products. These products are promoting themselves very well. They're ranked based on the primary keywords. They are sharing the click. So if 40 products are sharing the click and we have 2.5 million aggregate demand per year, and we have 7 new sellers and 4 of them are not successful, we have to do the math, literally build the proportion like we've been doing at school. If we have any opportunity to fit ourselves on the market. So now, if you can't do it, you have search terms, which is also an Amazon Product Opportunity Explorer, and you can literally look at the keywords and look at the product that Amazon recognizes for every single keyword, and Amazon shows you these insights in one screen. So here we have dog pool, and we have the ASINs that Amazon recognizes for different keywords. So if the conversion rate here is above 1.5%, that means the market is sort of being satisfied with this keyword, based on this keyword for this product. So if the conversion rate would be like 0.06% or below 1%, that means the market is not being satisfied with this product. But as you can tell, it's misspelled dog pool, and it's not even dog pool, it's just the dog. So this product just has been ranked somehow for this weird keyword, and this weird keyword has 42,000 search volume per year. So you don't have
Ah,
to pay attention. Yeah.
can you explain again that the conversion percentage and tell us
Yes.
what is a good percentage to look for?
So we have to look at the percentage with ideally if it's below 1%.
Mhm.
If it's below 1%, this is where conversion is happening per search term, per search term per product, right? So if the search term is given the conversion per product over 1.5% or over 2%, you as a high-end expert on Amazon, you understand that the aggregate conversion based on different keywords will be pretty high for this product.
Yeah.
But if a lot of people are landing on the page for this specific keyword for an Amazon page, and this Amazon product is not converting this specific keyword across the niche, that means the market is missing something based on the feature of the product. So something is wrong, high likely, with the product, because people are leaving Amazon Marketplace to search for this product somewhere else. You will be able to see a lot of these gaps when you'll be looking at the niches like home decor or products that are relevant to people's taste, preferences. So you will see a lot of low conversion because it's just because of the niche. There is nothing you can do about the product to increase the conversion across the niche. But there are some products that you will be able to see the opportunity to build a better product just because the search conversion rate is so low that these products cannot convert. And even with this type of the conversion, listings are converting into the sales and they are selling 1,500 or 2,000 units a month, it's a huge opportunity for you to understand, like, okay, if even these products, they have the convert, let's say this not 1.82%, let's say it's, I don't know, 0.5, even if with the low conversion, they are making so many sales, can I do better? And then we would go to the next step, and then we would scrape the reviews, and then we will start with the AI building the products and see how we can do this product better on your side, and how to develop based on the customer's insight and customers requirements, and not just to put the label on and sell it on Amazon. Make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So how much time do you have left?
You've got at least another 5 more minutes.
So if I have just 5 minutes, we can, guys, go to Q&A if you have any questions. But generally speaking, to summarize everything, step number 1, you can utilize Smart Scout, and I will give you the link where they provide you free trial, and they provide Amazon Ad Spy, and they provide you a lot of other stuff as well. Hold on, give me a second. Where is the chat? Chat
So
is right
while you
here.
go ahead and do that, everybody
Yeah.
feel free to drop anything in the Q&A. If not right now, towards the end, we will also be answering any of those Q&As. We'll also be dropping additional information in the chat. So you can go ahead and drop that in there. In the meantime, whenever you're ready, Vanessa, you can go ahead and take over sharing your screen.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
I'm interested in your discovery, Bella. Like you mentioned, okay, you find the information, you get it through Smart Scout, filter
yeah,
through GPT, then use the Product Opportunity Explorer, like to understand
yeah.
if the market has a good fit. Then what? Now I'm interested to know if you have the agent, the ChatGPT agent ready to show us like what happened. Because also one thing, at the beginning you were touching on Rufus. That was what I was gonna talk about right now. So since you already touched on that, we can skip it. Then I'll talk about audiences.
No, we will
But
not skip it because your insights are always so crazy and so valuable. We can't skip that.
okay, uh, fine, let's do it. So then
Yeah.
I'll
So
share my
Well,
screen.
well, we
yeah,
can
the
go ahead
last
and
part.
go into that since we know now how to actually find and utilize AI to find your product. And now we'll know how to utilize AI to help rank and utilize all these updates.
Yeah, I'm just trying to load at least one page. And it's like, when you're in the middle of the webinar, you didn't prepare the page prior, it's giving you a hard time. So when you guys will be doing it by yourself with the link I just gave you. So this is what this another part that you can you can read on your side. So when you're inside of the Smart Scout, you can take a look at the high intent keywords. And this thing does not exist in any other software so far. And I really don't understand why. Because given that it is so easy to get an access to brand analytics, anybody can build these things. But anyway, so when you're going inside of the product, and you have the tab which is rank maker, and in a rank maker you are able to see the keywords that are being high intent for this specific product, which means if somebody was shopping giraffe toys for toddlers, the intent to purchase this product based on this specific keyword is super high. So, for example, if you're searching 1-year-old girls' gifts, the intent to purchase this specific product is medium. And at the same time, you can also estimate PPC bid right here. So it will show you how much you're going to pay per click. But also, you have an ad spy here. And ad spy can show you how much money you're going to spend when you will be running the campaigns. And answering Vanessa's question, what I'm usually doing next, I am going to the search terms and an ad spy. I'm downloading Excel sheets to ChatGPT, and then I'm asking ChatGPT to provide me the high intent keywords and the maximum spend of my competitors, and I'm asking to create the clusters 10 at the time. And I am literally going through from the highest intent keywords to the lowest. Sometimes I'm limiting based on the search volume, so I can limit them for like 1,000 searches per month to 15,000 searches per month. And this is how I'm able to extract the keywords with the high intent, medium intent, and low intent, and I'm able to extract the specific budget from the sellers, and I will be able to imply it on the product I'm developing at the moment. So I hope it's not super complicated for people that are not really advanced, but for those that are advanced, you guys will be able to figure out how to build this. And it's like, you don't have to go through like 400 rows and go crazy and do a lot of these filters. GPT really analyzes for you within seconds. And another part, if you don't want to pay for GPT for 20 bucks, you can use Abacus. And Abacus AI, they have inside, I will show you quickly. Abacus has so many tools at the same time for just $10. So in Abacus, you can pay them 10 bucks a month, and you have ChatGPT, the new ChatGPT o1, and Claude and Llama and Gemini, I believe something else.
That's awesome.
This is mind-blowing.
That was
This
amazing.
is amazing. Wow. I'm so excited. I want to try it because it seems so easy, especially with AI right now. So, okay. Now,
Sorry, Vanessa, real quick before we get started.
Vanessa's approved, hashtag.
We do have a quick question. So Izabella, is Opportunity Explorer built into Seller Central, or is it an app offered by the presenter's company?
No. It's inside of Seller Central. That's why I'm trying to yell at everybody, like, why you're not using Amazon Product Opportunity Explorer? It's there for you. It's still on like, it's out there for like 2 years, I believe, 2.5 years. It's still in the baby stage, but that's the most real numbers we can get.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. And it's only available for brand registered sellers. So that's one thing. Like, that's important.
Or you can request it. The account that was showing right now it's my demo account. I don't have any sales there, and it's not brand registry. We just requested this feature to be added, and Amazon can give you this feature so you can have it.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's super easy. It's usually up to 48 hours and you will get it.
Nice.
Amazing. So now you've got your product. How do we make sure it gets seen, Vanessa?
Perfect. Let's go to the boring stuff. Yay. Yeah. Okay. So that's a great question. Obviously there is one thing that we need to understand right now. And I'm in a conference here in Denver, and we were talking about that yesterday. The fact that we are on a moment of a pivotal moment in e-commerce where the things that we worked through maybe a year ago, 6 months ago, are not going to be the same things that will be true in 6 months from now. And the reason of that is because all of the AI updates that, Alexandra put at the beginning, the things that Amazon is changing, the hyper personalization that we're seeing. So when we think about keywords, which is what Izabella was doing, like understanding that the last piece, which I thought was the most important and relevant from all of the keyword research, and I didn't know Smart Scout had that, so kudos to them. That's an amazing tool. It's understanding the intent behind a keyword. So this is what makes the whole AI world work. And the reason is because Rufus is the technology that customers have to understand and find your product, right? But the only way Rufus will show your specific product is if they see that there is a high intent between the customer and a high correlation between what you provide as in your product. So building listings for AI, it's very different from building listings for the keyword A9 algorithm where you rank on keywords. So we're now in an uncomfortable stage, I'll say, like as a teenager, right? Where you're not a kid anymore, but you're not a full adult. Like you're in this stage where right now we're living in a moment where Amazon has the ranking for the keywords, and those are very important, but at the same time has the intent and the knowledge of the audiences. So it's attaching the content of your catalog to the specific intent of the audience. And I'll explain that what that means in a minute. Also, I'll explain how we can target those intents. So we can all agree that Amazon is the biggest and most successful search engine in the world because they've been able to monetize search in a way that nobody else has been able to do. And now they're getting into the game of monetizing audiences. And that's what my focus is going to be. So when you think about building your product, which is what Izabella helped us search, and what those were practical tips to find a specific niche. But after you do that, you really need to understand who you're selling to. So this is where the pieces in the puzzle will come together. We have the tactics on how to find the keyword, how to find the market gaps, how to know what's the price and what's the investment that we're going to do. Now it's a matter of understanding what is my audience wanting, looking for, and where do I find them, which is a very different approach and framework from Amazon in the past, like what we used to know as keyword research, because you go like, hey, I'm going to put it on Amazon because if they're looking for it as a keyword, then they're going to buy it. Right now, we're still seeing that, but in the future, customers will start interacting with Rufus and the shopper assistant, and will ask questions about like, hey, I'm going on a trip to Florida. What should I bring? Those are the things that you want to be there if you're a bathing suit brand for a woman, or you want to be there if you are, selling a hat for an older person. Like those are the things that in the past we were not connecting, and that's where we're going to go now. So this is how it works. And I'm going to go pretty brief on the descriptions on what Rufus and Cosmo is. We don't need to know that in depth for this presentation. I'm going to be focusing on DSP more. If you want to learn more, we have a blog, we have a couple of videos, and I have put out a lot of content. So if you want to understand a little bit more about the intricacies of how this algorithm works in the back end, feel free to check our blog, check our white paper. We're also working on a white paper for this AI, and content on social media. So as Izabella explained, Rufus is the front-end shopping assistant. And look at this thing. This screenshot is the most powerful of all of the screenshots. And to give you a clue of where e-commerce is going, I was looking for a camera, a camera lens for a new camera that I bought for my studio at home. And I'm like, okay, I need a different lens, different distance from the object, which is myself and the camera, blah, blah, blah. And I was looking on Amazon. I spent like the whole night looking. I didn't get anything in my cart. I didn't purchase anything. It was just me researching the market. The next day, when I took this screenshot to put it in the presentation, the first thing that Rufus was telling me is like, what do you need help today or help with today? And then the follow-up is which camera lens brands offer the best quality. So this is where you stop as a seller, because I think we need to stop to understand why this is such a massive shift. It's because Rufus knows exactly what I was looking for, exactly what my intent is, and knows so much about myself that it knows that I'm going to purchase eventually, which I did, by the way, at the end. So it's going to prompt me the things that are related to my specific search. And it gets really interesting and very deep when we go outside of what's happening on the Amazon app or on the Amazon website, which is what happens with DSP. So then we have Cosmo. This is what we can partially control. So Cosmo is the large language model built on top of the A9. So the A9 is how you rank on keywords. On top of the A9 to understand the catalog in a logical way, in a way that just a human could do it, right? So for example, in this screenshot that you see in the screen, you will see that they're connecting the dots between a sleep-resistant shoe and a pregnant woman. Before, in the world of keywords, you had to have on your listing, in your title, in your bullet points, somewhere in the listing, you had to have that your sleep-resistant shoe was intended for pregnant women. Why? Because it's logic. You don't want to fall while you're pregnant. Like that's an obvious thing that us as humans can defer and understand. Pretty simple. But the machine was not built for that. It wasn't built for that understanding. What Cosmo is bringing is like, okay, now I see a product that is, shoe sleep resistant. Now I can attach it to elderly people, to pregnant women, to people that work in kitchens, for example. They don't want to fall, or people that do cleaning in buildings, like all of those things. That's the common sense knowledge that Cosmo builds. So the importance of building the content for your listings, explaining what the function, the description, the intention, and the use for your product is, it is extremely important. It is more important than the main keywords in the top dashboard that you get. Obviously, keywords explain things. Like I cannot sell this without saying that it's a sleep resistant shoe. That's how we communicate. Like keywords are not going anywhere in that sense, but the extent or the semantic context around what is that the shoe is for and what's the function, the capabilities, and all of that needs to be in your listing so you can sell to AI. And that's our goal. Our goal is to sell to Rufus. So as Isabella mentioned in the beginning, Rufus can sell our product. And this is the best, biggest promoter that we have, right? So you have the customer intent, which we're going to touch on with DSP. We have the listing attributes, so build the content for the use cases, the functions, the description, all of that. And then the brand category and tags. Those are win by selling to your specific audience. Meaning, if you are a sleep resistant shoe and you sell to a pregnant woman, you will win category and brand tags in the back end saying like this product is useful for this type of audience. So you win on that. That's why it's very tricky, by the way. That's one thing that I learned, or I got aware after the conference that I'm at today, was that doing at the beginning, search, find, buy, and asking your friends and family to buy your product and leave a review, that's not useful for the algorithm, because you're not training the algorithm to understand who your audience is. You're training, those tactics are to train the algorithm.
That's
to
a
learn.
super big one, Vanessa. It's so great you're saying it, because it's the best thing that you guys have to understand. If it's a one takeaway you have to take today from the webinar, it's don't train your product listing to be shown to the wrong people.
Yep,
by
exactly.
Implementing wrong algorithm. Vanessa, it's so great.
So great, so great. And I was like, when you think about it, it's like, oh shit, like, wow, massive. Okay, so let's go to DSP, and this is where we can leverage those audiences, because you will say like, oh, but that works, that I ran with that, how can I do it better? So
Vanessa,
you do it.
can you pause for a minute? We have somebody requesting if you could repeat that.
What part?
The previous slide, I believe. Kimberly, I don't know if you want to drop in the chat if there's anything specific that you wanted from Cosmo to be repeated.
So
you just want to repeat, not
the
to train
the algorithm. Okay,
training the algorithm.
So there's people in the space, many actually, that go to their friends and family, or go to these like crazy Facebook groups or crazy WhatsApp groups or Telegram groups where they say like, hey, buy my product, put this keyword, buy my product, and then leave me a review. And for those type of services, you pay some amount of money. I don't know, I'm not into those things. The thing here in the new era of AI, the point is that will hurt you more than it will help you. Why? Because those strategies were built to rank on keywords. We understand that. Like you do the search, find, buy to rank on specific keywords. What I'm saying right now with this shift in the AI is keywords are not as relevant as the audience is. So for example, if you're selling a sleep resistant shoe and you have all of your friends and all of your family buying that, but they're not your real target audience, which in this case, we're going to take, let's say, pregnant women, just for the simplicity of the case, then the algorithm wouldn't know where to put you, right? Like, because you told your brother that is like, pretty high executive in New York, and then you told your mom that lives in California and is retired, and then you told your best friend that is an artist in Seattle. Like, so many different audiences there on demographics, that when the system is trying to put together, like, okay, who's this product useful for, like, for who it is useful, then it's like, I don't know, because you have so many people and so many things that you don't control. Yeah, exactly. Mind blowing. That's crazy. Yeah, so that's a huge take on that. Okay, let's go back to the audiences. So what can we do to solve this thing, right? Like, that's the main question. Because until now, and this is my favorite part of this topic and why I've been going so deep in it, is I believe 99.9% of all Amazon sellers were never or have never sit down really and to try to understand their audience. I think you guys are, as a seller, you're pretty amazing at keyword research. That's fantastic. I mean, 10 out of 10, like, to the successful ones, but then you don't really know who you're selling to. So my approach, and the reason why I think DSP is so powerful, is that they give you the insight of who your audience is. So to understand DSP, it stands for demand side platform. Yeah. So the definition, it's like a fancy dashboard where you can publish advertising placements in different channels and all of that. That's beautiful. That's kind of the theory, and that's what you will see when you go to DSP on Amazon. But the real definition, or the definition that works for us in this context, is that is the biggest database, the gold mine of data from customers in general, like Amazon customers. So this is where it gets crazy. It knows, DSP and Amazon knows so much about you that if you pull your report, you'd probably be scared, because are so many details, not only of the things that you have done inside of the Amazon app on desktop, it's also the behaviors that you have outside of Amazon. They know if you purchase a home, they know if you move, they know if you're engaged, they know if you had a baby, they know if you get laid out of your job, they know if you just got married. So many things. And those stages in life trigger certain consumer actions, right? So if I just move to a house, naturally, I'm gonna be buying furniture or things for home decor or things like that. That's where what we want to leverage. That's where we find our people. That's where we find our audiences. So how does DSP works into the formula of Cosmo? Two things: customer intent and brand tags. So the first piece is the customer intent. So if we understand who our audience is, then we understand what's their intent. So let's say that we're building a product for a pregnant woman. We know that her intent is, you know, to take care of the baby, take care of herself while she's in that stage. In the past, the only way that you could think about targeting those was adding the keyword pregnant to whatever keyword you're selling. So shoes for pregnant women, or blankets for pregnant women, or pillow for pregnant women, whatever. Right now with DSP, you can go to DSP and say, like, you know what? Show me all of the pregnant women that are in urban areas in the United States between 18, like, okay, 25 age range to 35, something like that. And then you start targeting them, right? You start looking. Also, you can get pretty sophisticated, like looking at the audience of your competitors. So I can say, hey, this is my competitor. I want to target their audience. I want to target the people that bought from them or didn't buy from them, but they were interested. That's how crazy it gets with DSP. Like, you can do laser targeting approach, which is amazing. The listing attributes, it's a byproduct. We're going to talk about that, how DSP helps, but it's not directly a thing with DSP. And then the brand tags. So I mentioned the moment that you sell to your audience, you're winning tags in the back end. So if your audience is pregnant women and pregnant women are buying from you, you will win brand and category tags for that. So you will position as the main brand for this specific audience. Amazing. And then what happens? You sell more. That's the idea of DSP. So how do you put this into action? DSP and Pixelme. So we have this new service on under the Carbon 6 umbrella called DSP Prime. So DSP is the demand side platform. It's a service that, by the way, you cannot get access without a DSP seat, which only is given to certain advertisers with X amount of spending. They could be pretty big software companies like us, could be agencies, or could be bigger advertisers, let's say as P&G, like massive, massive expending. So if you want to have access to their audiences and DSP, you need to do it through a trusted providers. The way you find that provider, it varies. They charge differently in many places. One thing that you need to make sure is that they're not charging you for be part of the seat. They're just charging you for the service they're offering you, which is what DSP Prime by Carbon 6 does, which is very important. That's a key differentiator for us. And then Pixel.me, that we're going to talk about that, how you can retarget those audiences. Because one thing is to find them, then the other thing is like, how do you follow them and how you target them? I don't know if you guys are the same. I am a victim of advertising on Instagram. It's crazy. I see something or I say something to my friends, and the next second I see an ad on Instagram. And you're like, what is going on? So that is the type of things that with DSP and Pixel.me you could do. So you could be on the dark side of the advertisers. You could be that scary person. So how does that work with the Pixel.me side? You find, let me go back to the DSP. So you will sign up for DSP. And one thing that we do that's pretty amazing at Carbon 6 is the growth plan. So with the growth plan, we'll tell you like, hey, this is the amount of spending that you should do. This is the audiences that you're gonna target. This is where in the funnel they're at, and this is how much tacos and ROAS you're gonna get. And it's a growth plan for the next 90 days. And you're gonna get a growth plans every time. So we are and you are pretty accountable for what happens, right? So that's pretty amazing. It's another key differentiator of DSP. So then we go to the Pixel.me part. We already get the ad audience through DSP because we're laser targeting the people that we want to have, which, by the way, you could come in and use DSP without knowing who your audience is, which happens to a lot of our clients. They don't really know exactly who their audience is. DSP will tell you. And this is another insight. I don't know if Izabella will like this, but I know, Izabella, you're massive in these like platforms to do A/B testing, like Pixel and stuff. I love it. I think those are great platforms for the initial part of product development. But then when it gets to create clear messages for audiences, in DSP, you will be able to test that. You will be able to say, this is the right message for my audience, not because they think so, not because they see like, oh, the A is better than B. No, it's because they purchase. So you track that conversion. So you're like, I want the best hero image for my conversion. And with DSP, you can do micro-segmentation and having A/B testing of multiple assets. So that's amazing. Then going back to Pixel.me, you get that audience, right? You found them, you know who they are. Now you're gonna follow them across multiple channels like Google, Meta, and TikTok. Meta being Facebook and Instagram, right? So using those audiences to retarget them, because DSP doesn't work with these massive advertisers. So you're getting that, and then you are doing the I guess cross-selling through those same audiences and retarget them to increase the brand awareness, to re-engage potential customers, to increase branded search, which is a massive thing for people that are building brands, and ultimately drive more conversions. So Pixel.me is one of our softwares under the Carbon 6 umbrella that is now working on the Emerald program or embed apps in Seller Central. If you go to Seller Central and if you're part of Pixel.me, you will see the dashboard in the Seller Central account. So that's pretty
And
cool.
then on Accelerate, they featured that on a big stage.
Yes.
I'm a witness.
Yeah. So that's a image of they showing Pixel.me in the main stage, which was pretty humbling, and it's an honor for us to be a partner, to be at that level of trust with Amazon, that they trust us to be part of their Seller Central experience, which is something that not a lot of people can say. So the other part that's super cool about Pixel.me is that you get the Amazon attribution. So when you have brand registry, you get the Amazon attribution program and the bonus referral program, which is basically giving you 10% back on all of the traffic that you drive to Amazon when they purchase. So that's a cool thing. It can be put together with DSP. So you can do that retargeting also through DSP and get the bonus referral program, which is something that I don't think a lot of people are talking about that. So at the end of the day, you can subsidize your spending in these specific avenues, like to find audiences and do the retargeting in outside traffic with the bonus referral program. So if you have an enough or a high enough price, you will get a nice percentage back, and hopefully like your cost per click and all of the cost per conversion is lower than the bonus referral program. So you get basically an extra revenue there. If you want to learn more about how you re-engage with DSP and the audiences and the attribution, this is a QR code that you can learn more about, how the bonus referral program works there. It's kind of for you to learn. It gets pretty technical, or you can just trust what I'm saying. Hopefully you trust us, and you will see those results when you start doing those campaigns for the audiences. So with DSP, we have a complete dashboard with performance metrics. That's another thing that other providers are not giving you. DSP will give you a transparent dashboard. Most people with agencies, for example, they engage with DSP and they're like, oh yeah, we spent 100,000 DSP this month, and yeah, I think we sold this. Like, that's not the case with us. You get your own dashboard. So that's super cool. And we have, again, as I mentioned, the tailored growth plans designed to drive your specific goals, your specific ROI. So what's the strategy here? We're building content for our audiences so Rufus can sell to our customers. And on top of that, we are deep diving into who our audience is, where are they spending their time, and we follow them, right? So running ads, retargeting with DSP, and then optimizing your listings with, that, I guess, results that you get from the campaigns. So yeah, I think I've already said that. If you want to learn more about all of these things, Pixel Me, DSP, and the Ritz Momentum, how to build your product and get amazing research behind what's gonna work, feel free to scan the QR code. You can book a call with the team, and yeah, we're here to help and answer any questions. I don't know, Ali, if we have any questions in chat.
So we don't have any questions currently. Feel free to drop anything in Q&A. We'll stay on a few more minutes. One last thing I wanted to make sure, if you click onto the next screen or the next slide, Vanessa, we've got some free resources available for you as well. This is a free download that I know we mentioned earlier. Additional to that, we're going to be having a quick survey that you might see pop onto your screen. So our team will be populating that on there, and let us know if there's any things that you'd like to see in our future webinars and things like that. In the meantime, make sure you check out the chat for all of the different resources that have been dropped in there. This will be also sent in our email. So there's free white paper links. There is from Ritz Momentum. Izabella has dropped a special pricing deal. There is our Amazon press release about our embedded third-party app partnership with Amazon. So all the different things that we've been mentioning today will all be here in the chat, and will also be sent out once this webinar is sent for the recording. So again, you've got the poll up there on the screen if you don't mind dropping in some information for us. And any last remarks from both Izabella and Vanessa? Real quick, Michael is actually asking, what about Smart Scout? So I know Izabella was sharing some Smart Scout links.
I
So
dropped, guys, for the Smart Scout, the link right here. I'm dropping it again. As an official partner of Smart Scout, we're able to negotiate short-time discounts only for the webinars we're hosting or co-hosting. So here's 35% off. So you will be able to use them for free for 7 days. On top of you are getting Ad Spy trial, the one that I was showing you today, so you can play and see how much money you can spend on PPC campaigns, because you have to make the informed decisions. It's like I'm selling Smart Scout here, not myself. And that will expire on September 29th. So you have to use this link right now. And if you want to watch like the whole validation course, we can give you access for free for 2 weeks. I also dropped the link to join the Telegram chat specifically for people for this webinar. So when you join, we will give you the instructions there after this webinar will be over, how to get access for 2 weeks. So you'll be able to watch everything I was showing like in 2 seconds with like 7 to 12 hours. So it's a lot of information to unpack because there is like really step-by-step instruction how to do the validation with Smart Scout and Data Dive.
Thank you. And Vanessa, can you go back 2 slides? We do have a question from somebody saying, can you do a quick summary of the whole process from product research to DSP? And I think this slide might be a little bit helpful to kind of like walk through beginning to end in a short form version.
Yeah. So I think using generative AI to research, test, and launch the new product, which is what Isabella was saying, and using other softwares like Smart Scout, which is amazing. Then the other thing is that you start selling, right? And you need to sell to your audience and understand that. Then you start launching the DSP campaign. Unless you have a massive budget, DSP is not something that you could do on a launch because you need to spend certain amount of money a month on advertising for DSP to be worth it. But then when you do it, which is something that you could do right now, and the big thing is that, yeah, we're talking about launching, but with the products that you're selling right now, you could use DSP and learn from that, especially if you're building a brand that has a cohesive audience. So you launch the ads in omni-channel to other potential customers, like we mentioned, Meta, Google, and TikTok. You retarget those audiences with Pixel Me. You get the attribution bonus, and you put those that money back into the funnel. Again, rinse and repeat. Part of that also with the learning from DSP and who your audience is, because you're gonna get that report. You're gonna know exactly, I mean, not to the T where they live and what's their name, but you're gonna know exactly who's your demographic and your target audience. You start building content for them. And that is something that in this conference that I'm at, we were talking about, like, okay, this brand, an amazing pet brand, phenomenal content, a lot of reviews, like people rave about their product online everywhere. And it's so funny because their storefront, their A+ content, and the images are on all of their products were featuring men and their dog. So a guy and their dog. And all of the reviews, which was so funny, all of the reviews and all of their DSP data says that 90% of their customers are female. So or women, right? Like, so that's where you get, start thinking about how you build the content for the right audience. And that's where you rinse and repeat that, right? You learn and you change it. You learn and you change it. You learn and you launch more. So yeah, I think that's how you cover that.
Thank you. We do have 2 more DSP questions, Vanessa. So do you need brand registry to use DSP is the first one? And then how much on average do you need to spend on ads to make DSP successful?
The average piece, I think it really depends on the brand and the goals. So for the growth plans, if you schedule a call with the team, you can have, so here's the QR code for that. You could have the growth plan met to the specific goal. So you could go pretty aggressive, you could go moderate, or you could be like on the safer conservative side, depending on it's kind of like an investment plan, right? Like you are different risk tolerant, and that's fine. For certain categories, it could be like, hey, if you don't spend like at least 10K, then it won't be worth it. And we will tell you those things, and we will tell you if this is a good fit or not for you, right? It's not like, okay, come and spend the money. If you're not gonna see an ROI, we don't wanna, sell you the world and then don't deliver. So that's important for us. That's why the growth plan is there. So it's a hard question to answer without knowing what the product is, what's the goal, what's the audience. We all know that there are certain, categories that are more expensive than other ones. So very hard to tell. And then the other one, do you need brand registry to use DSP? I think the answer is yes. I'm pretty sure you have to. I haven't heard of people doing DSP that are not brand registered. No, I don't think so. So, I mean, I don't think you can do it without brand registry.
And to Michael's question also, I was doing the joint webinar with Jim Jordan back in August, and he was showcasing how much money you can invest and get out of PixelMe when you're running these campaigns. So one of the cases was $2,000 per campaign, and they got $500,000. I don't know which product and what was the niche, but that was pretty impressive. So it again, a lot of things depends on your conversion and on your product. If your product is good enough and your conversion of your listing is amazing, then it's easy to sell, right? So as long as you have a great platform where your shopper can land and make you a sale, then that will be much lower spend than you're spending on PPC.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think those are all the questions that we've had right now. Remember, we will be sending out all of the material that we dropped in the chat. We'll be sending the recording. And if you have any questions, you've got a QR code on the screen. You'll have that in your email as well. Thank you for joining again, Izabella, our CEO of Ritz Momentum, Vanessa, our founder of SellerAssist, and myself, Alexandra, Director of Strategic Partnerships here at Carbon6. Thank you. And we will hopefully see you on our next webinar.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Everyone.